We're just 2 days away from opening night. You've seen the rankings, you've seen the mock drafts, you've seen the breakout players, but you may be wondering, who's DMAC needing to have in his drafts? Well, in this episode, I'm taking you through my draft targets, my guys, and later on, I'm actually going to have a special guest on to discuss her targets as well. Let's go and win some leagues. G'day, guys. I'm DMAC from NBA Fantasy Bible here on the Believe in Fantasy Network. As I said, it's 2 days away from opening night. We're going to go through my draft targets. Who are the guys that I have to leave a draft with? Obviously, it's not always as easy as that, but the proof is in the pudding. I'll say these are my targets, and a lot of people say, okay, yeah, prove it. I've actually picked these guys up in real drafts, and I'm looking to pick them up in my remaining drafts. I've got, I think, 3 drafts left. But without further ado, we'll get straight into it, shall we? My first target is Jamal Murray. He's slipping down in terms of ADP, and I don't quite understand why. There's a perception that he's injury prone. He's getting a little bit older. There's just no one behind him at the Denver Nuggets that's going to take his minutes away. He was 18th in 9-cat last season, thanks to Basketball Monster there. 41 in points, which is very respectable, but the ADPs do not reflect that 9-category ranking from last season. I still think in a 9-cat situation, he can be a top 25 to 30 guy. So the ADPs that are presented here have a lot of value there. I've actually picked him up in pretty much the majority of the leagues that I've been drafting in and currently drafting at the moment. We do have some slow drafts at the moment, but yeah, the proof is in the pudding. I have put my neck on the line, but I love Jamal Murray this season, particularly with the ADP there. I just can't think that you can go past him. I probably have him ahead of guys like Derek White, which is a little bit controversial, but I really believe in Jamal Murray this season. I think you're going to get some great value there around the ADPs. Yahoo 37.7, ESPN 38.0, which is understandable, not as effective in a points league situation, but in Fantrax 37.1. Top 25, top 30, like I said, it's a no-brainer. Take Jamal Murray. The next guy, injured to start the season. He's got a toe injury. I expect him to be out only 1 to 2 weeks to start the season, but he is dropping down draft boards. So if you haven't drafted yet, make sure you keep an eye out for Darius Garland because he is so far down that ADP. Look at last season, 9-cat 45th, points league 62nd. ADP at the moment on Yahoo is 67.7, ESPN 78.6, and Fantrax 71.9. Think of the statistical scarcity as well around point guards and assists. Darius Garland provides that. He's an efficient player as well. And like I said, I only expect him to be out for 1 to 2 weeks to start the season. So if you can cop that, if you can take the zeros in the first week, or even better, if you've got IRs, don't forget about Darius Garland. I think he'll be a top 50 to 60 type of guy. So again, this ADP presents some value. With those assists as well, getting that in those mid rounds, very, very important. Very, very imperative that you get those early. But he's a guy that if you don't get him early, then you can target him in the mid round. So again, I have got him in a couple of drafts and I'm very happy for it. Another guy that's flown under the radar, and I think it's because of the Zion news. Also later on in the season, we'll get DeJounte Murray. Herb Jones is back on that team as well. But Trey Murphy III, I just love his all-round game. He's actually come out in the media and said that he wants to be an all-star. So when you've got that brashness, if not confidence about you, I think you need to show that as well. And if he's got that confidence about him coming into this season, I have that confidence about him as well. Looking at last season in 24-25, 9-cat rank of 27th on Basketball Monster, points league 55. So again, not as effective in a points league situation. ADP at the moment, as we currently stand, Yahoo 43.4, ESPN 66.4, which is somewhat understandable because it does skew towards points leagues. And Fantrax 51.0, which is probably the most surprising. He's been slept on at the moment, and that's why he's a draft target of mine. I think he can still be a top 30 to 35 player in 9-cat. So again, this ADP really presents value. If he's talking himself up as a future all-star, and I think he can get there. He's just got that beautiful all-round game. He can shoot the 3-ball almost as good as anyone in the league. He can finish at the rim with dominance and power. He's a decent defender as well. I love him. I've picked him up in the third, I think it's the back end of the third round 4th round as well. And I'm really happy with that. I've got a couple of leagues coming on today that I will be targeting Trey Murphy III. I don't think Zion's presence and resurgence with his fitness is necessarily going to take too much away from Trey Murphy. In fact, it may actually enhance Trey Murphy and get some open threes. Zion, a healthy fit Zion, may actually be getting those free looks at the point forward position, getting Trey Murphy those free looks just to hit down those threes. And again, he's just such a threat from the outside and the inside. So Trey Murphy, another one of my draft targets. Next one, Jakob Poeltl, slipping a little bit from what I have seen in the previous couple of weeks. And that's because of his back injuries. He's had back spasms, back stiffness. But again, I don't think it's going to impede him come the start of the season. It's something to be mindful of. But again, he is someone that I have drafted and he continues to be a draft target of mine. Looking at last season where he played less than 30 minutes per game in 9-cat, he was 43rd per Basketball Monster. Points league 61st, so still really effective. ADP at the moment, Yahoo 76.5, too high. ESPN 76.9. That's too high. And Fantrax, a little bit closer to where I'd expect, 68.3. In competitive leagues, I've seen him go on the 5th and 6th round. So be mindful of that if you need the big man stats. And he gives you a little bit more than your traditional big man stats. He can get you some sneaky assists as well from that 5 position. I love Jakob Poeltl. I think he can play close to 30 minutes per game. But again, buyer beware, there is that back issue, the lingering back issue, but I don't think it's going to impede him, like I said. Jakob Poeltl in a couple of my leagues already, and I'll be targeting him again. Another big man, Donovan Clingan, coming into his sophomore season. We did speak about him in our breakout show. Make sure you go and check that out, the top 15 breakouts, where we go through guys like Ausar Thompson and Donovan Clingan. I think Donovan Clingan is going to have an outstanding season. No more Deandre Ayton, who has gone to the LA Lakers. Hansen Yang, Yang Hansen, if you rather, he's backing up going into his rookie season. Also, Robert Williams is still on the Portland Trailblazers roster as well, but he is currently injured. Donovan Clingan has improved his endurance. He's improved his conditioning. He's come out and said that himself. I think he can play close to 28 minutes per night, and I think that's good enough for a top 60, top 70 type of ranking come end of season in a category league situation, and not too far off in a points league situation. It does come down to how well he plays and his fitness as well, but how well he runs out games as well. There was a moment I remember last season, I picked him up because Ayton was out of the team, Robert Williams was out of the team. He looked gassed. There was one particular game against the Lakers and he just could not keep up, and they had to bench him because he just wasn't there fitness-wise. I think he's addressed that this season, and I'm excited to see where that goes. Last season, still respectable in his rookie season. 9-cat, 160th. It's the elite rebounds, elite blocks. In points league, 169th. ADP at the moment, 85.2 on Yahoo, 122.5 on ESPN. That's madness. That needs to go up. And Fantrax, 90.5. I would love to get him around this point. I have seen him go around earlier, but if you do get him around here or even around earlier, then I have full confidence that he beats that ADP and gets that value as well. And it is sometimes difficult to get some good big men later in drafts. But Donovan Clingan for me, not just a breakout, but one of my guys. And just a bonus one, Ausar Thompson, again, go and check out that top 15. He was the poster boy for the top 15 breakout show. But Ausar Thompson, if his brother is any template whatsoever, I think Ausar Thompson can have close to a top 59 cat type of season, and it won't be too far off in terms of points leagues as well. I expect him to start for the Detroit Pistons. I expect him to play close to 28 to 30 minutes per game, which will allow him to just be dominant on the boards and the defensive attributes and the defensive events, the steals, the blocks, the traditional stocks, as you will. And he is supposedly working on his shooting game as well. And once that happens, similar to his brother, Amen, it's over. This guy is just so elite in the open court. Again, I say just like his brother, but they are so similar. I won't say identical, but very similar in terms of how they play as well. He won't have as much distributing activities to do like his brother. But again, I think that still bodes well for a really positive season. Current ADP of 80 on Yahoo, 104.1 on ESPN, and 80 on Fantrax as well. I think he can get there. And like I said, I think he actually exceeds that ADP. So I'm looking for him in drafts where possible, but he is going up that draft board. Very, very popular. I saw him drafted at pick 55 in a draft the other day. So I have confidence in that. But be mindful that you don't overdraft. Don't go into the 40s for it. Now, I've got an old friend of mine, Kayla Fonte. Kayla, how are you going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing really well. Good to see you again. It's been too long. We were doing Between Two Hoops constantly last season. We've both been really busy. I hope we get that back underway. But we're going to look at your draft targets today as well.
100%. So excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. Great to see you. I know you've been busy. Before we get into your guys, what have you been doing in the off season and preseason?
Oh my gosh, so many things. So working all the time, but a lot of stuff going on in the fantasy world. I'm still at Last Word on Sports, pumping out a lot of content there. And I'm also happy to join Hastag Basketball. I've only done a couple of articles so far, but there's a lot more on the way this season. We're going to be starting up Between Two Hoops soon. And also
Yes.
Bitches Be Ballin' with Yuri.
Bitches Be Balling. Yeah, make sure you look out for their show. That'll be very exciting as well. You'll be covering your own league, but of course, your general discussions of fantasy as a whole. Yeah, I look forward to that. So make sure you give the guys a follow as well. But Kayla, let's get into your first draft day target. I should probably go, we'll go backwards. I've got Isaiah Collier there. We were talking about him, but as a late round flyer, we'll go Isaiah Collier.
Yeah, Isaiah Collier. He's a very exciting one for me, just because the Jazz are looking very different heading into this season. They got rid of Sexton. Clarkson's also gone. So that opens up two spots in the backcourt. So Collier's going to get one of them. The other one's going to go to Keontae George. But Collier, I'm pretty high on just because he showed a lot of potential last season. He started about half of his games. But now he's got that permanent role with the Jazz. So he's got great upside. He's already shown that he can be a great playmaker. He does struggle with three-point shooting and efficiency and turnovers as well. Those are probably also going to go up. But I think it's just a huge opportunity for him, and I think he can make that sophomore leap.
Yeah, I think so too. You can see the ADP there. So obviously being taken at the very back end of drafts. Is that what you recommend, just with a little bit of upside? Or are you looking to go a little bit earlier?
I'm waiting until like the end of drafts because that's where he's falling anyway. He will hurt you a little bit in the efficiency in the turnover categories anyway, so that's going to lower his ranking already. There's no need to reach for him because I haven't really seen him go above like around the 130s. So you can definitely wait for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've already clicked ahead. This is your guy. This is your guy. He was one of our guys, particularly one of my guys last season. But this season, you still think he can take another step up? Amen,
I think
Thompson.
so, 100%. And you know what? I just had to put him as a target here because in the past, I've been a little bit down on him. So this is my I'm sorry, I apologize. Here you are as my target.
No, and for good reason. Obviously, Freddie VanVleet out for probably the entire season. That just
Yep.
gives Amen Thompson huge responsibilities in terms of distribution. Of course, just in the open court. And we've spoken about it as well. I had him in my breakouts episode as well. So make sure you go and check that out. But he's just elite in terms of the open court as well. And he will still have that distribution responsibility alongside of Şengün and a few others. But Amen Thompson, anything else that you can add with Amen Thompson as to why you love him?
Yeah, a couple of things. Honestly, he's just such a defensive stud. He is amazing. Blocks, steals, rebounds, whatever you need, he's got it. And this is also an opportunity for him to expand his offensive game, so increase his scoring. He's going to be a lot more active on the playmaking end. He does tank your threes and your free throw percentage, but I'm sure a lot of managers are willing to overlook that. And I don't
Yeah,
know
there
if you
was
remember
actually.
too, but sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, I was just going to say there was a preseason game where I think he shot 9 from 9 from the free throw line. I'm like,
Yes.
hello.
Yep.
And a couple of 3-pointers as well, too, from three from beyond the arc as well. So that bodes well for his overall game. But yeah, go on. I really interrupted you, Kayla.
No, you're good. It's honestly Dan Besbris mentioned the same thing when I did my Target show with him about the 9 for 9, and that's great signs. But I'm still a little bit hesitant just based off of past experience.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good. It's promising. And I don't know if you remember too, but last year, I think it was like in the second half of the season, we did a sell high show on Between Two Hoops. And
Did.
at the time, one of our targets was Amen Thompson. And I'm pretty sure he was like third overall in category leagues, like just like an unbelievable scorching stretch. So the upside is there. And now that he's got this huge runway, I mean, like, the sky's the limit for this guy.
And I recall those episodes fondly as well, because I think we had him on multiple episodes saying sell high, sell high, sell high. It's not going to keep going. It seemed to just keep going. And what's stopping him this season? So I love it. The ADP is definitely going up. Very, very popular in the second round of pretty much every single draft I've been in now, real and mock. I've actually seen him go at the end of the first round as well in a couple of drafts.
You know what? I think Yuri actually took him in one draft at the end of the first. Like, it was her last pick, and then her second pick was Giddey. So that was at the turn of the second. So
Right.
Thompson
Yeah,
and Giddey.
huge upside there. Next guy, Pascal Siakam, huge responsibility as well. No Tyrese Halliburton this season, so usage is going to be exploding.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's going to be the first option offensively. He's got a very sexy fantasy profile just because he's so versatile. His numbers don't really jump off the page in any one category, but he's just extremely versatile. He's so consistent. The only area he kind of lacks in is free throw percentage. But even then, it's not that bad. I think he's around like 70%-ish, typically,
Yeah.
give or take, right?
And for our points league viewers as well, that obviously doesn't hurt you. And you can see even last season in points league, he was more effective and more valuable in a points league situation.
Mhm.
And that's reflected in the ESPN ADP as well, going at 18.4. Yahoo 30.8 at the moment, as we currently stand, 2-3 days until opening night, and Fantrax at 31.3. Is that around the area that you'd be taking him in both, I guess, a category league, looking at Yahoo and Fantrax, and maybe a little bit earlier in a points league?
Yeah, I'm looking around that mark for sure. Maybe between like 25, 35 in that range. I think he can return to being like a top 40 player in category formats. That's where he's been before with the Raptors. For the past 2 years with the Pacers, he's hovered around like that 70 range per Hastag Basketball. But I mean, he's just set up for a huge season.
Yeah, and you don't have too many concerns around, I guess, the Indiana Pacers blowing it up. I guess then in the East, so it does definitely help them in terms of playoff contention. But you don't think that there's any shutdown risk with Pascal Siakam and the like?
I mean, it has been something that's crossed my mind, but I'm not super worried about it. I mean, you can make that case with a couple of other stars too, like even Devin Booker, right? Like, he's been such a popular pick, like near the end of the first round of drafts, but there's still that
Yeah.
shutdown risk. There's so many
Yeah.
players that it's surrounding. I don't know. You got to take it with a grain of salt, I guess.
Absolutely. And I guess there's a risk pretty much with every single guy. You always talk about, is it a shutdown risk? Is it an injury risk? Is it a risk that they'll get traded? We talk about pretty much a lot of these guys with that risk, something to be mindful of, but shouldn't really put you off. Now, your next guy, rookie of the year favorite, Cooper Flagg, goes without question as to why he's one of our favorites. Yahoo ADP is definitely going on up, starting at point guard now in the preseason for the Dallas Mavericks. But why is he one of your favorite targets?
The main reason I put him here is just because he's so exciting. I mean, he's a generational prospect. I could see him finishing as like a top 30 player in his first year, which actually I want to ask you, what do you expect he'll finish around in category formats?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking around that 30 to 35. I'm quite surprised that the ADP is still around this point. I guess there's a lot of data to be shifted to be able to make that change. But I am surprised that he isn't creeping up towards that second round in terms of where people are drafting him. Doesn't mean that's where I would draft him, but it wouldn't surprise me come end of season that he is around that vicinity. So I think that's bang on. So there is a little bit of value here, particularly with that Yahoo ADP at the moment.
Yeah, and you're totally right with that. In earlier mocks that I did, he was going around like the 35 to 45 range. But as we've gotten closer to the season, he started to move on up. And a big thing around that is just his elite versatility. There's no red flags to his game. He's extremely versatile. He was amazing with Duke. I think he led in like 3 or 4 different categories too. He's fantastic. He can do it all. He's gonna have a big runway with the Mavs. Good developmental opportunity. He's gonna have his ups and downs, of course. That's just something that's gonna happen with every rookie. But the only thing he kind of struggles with at times is turnovers. I could see efficiency kind of fluctuating a little bit, but he's just an extremely polished player already for his age.
Yeah, and you know how I like to draft. I draft and play, I tend to disregard turnovers as well. So people that will look at just standard 9-cat rankings and go, oh, Cooper Flagg's ranked 70th in 9-cat. Well, yeah, turn off those turnovers. It's the high usage. He's looking for those assists. Of course, he's going to have those turnovers. That's just what the best players do. And he's young. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a period where he's just trying to find himself and how he fits on that team as well. Do you have any concerns once Kyrie Irving does return, if it is anytime soon?
I don't think it's going to have a significant impact. I believe that Kyrie's going to return in about January. So it's going to take some time for him to ramp up too. But I think it also should help him. He's going to have that quality playmaker who can feed him looks, right, and open shots. So I think that'll actually help out. And it also serves as like a mentor for him as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love Cooper Flagg. And your last one, your fifth draft target, DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, so in the past, I haven't been the biggest fan of Ayton, and I know a lot of managers are going to look at this and be like, oh my God, what the hell is she talking about? But if you think about it, like this is going to be a really important season for Ayton. I mean, this is going to be a redemption year for him. It's a contract year, and also he has more incentive to play now that he's on a contending team like the Lakers. There's no more of those silly shenanigans with the Blazers anymore where he's playing only 40 games. I mean, he's going to try to win, right? And the Lakers don't really have a lot of other good center options who are going to challenge him for minutes. So I think like if you're getting him at the 60s, like get him. Like it's worth a shot. He's averaged a double-double every single year of his career. He's not the best shot blocker, but he can hover around 1 block per game. Yeah, he's a good double-double threat. He's ranked inside the top 50 for the past, I think, 3 of the past 5 years per Hastag Basketball and in category leagues. So the upside is there. I'm willing to take a shot.
Absolutely. And you have LeBron motivating him or pushing him, driving him to be better. We've seen it with Luka in terms of his fitness as well. So they're all going to be playing at a high level. Obviously, LeBron out to start the season will probably increase DeAndre Ayton's usage as well. So he'll get up some nice points. He's almost a lock for 10 rebounds a game. And like you said, the backup bigs behind Ayton aren't very strong at the moment. Looking at that 24-25 rank, you alluded to it with the Portland Trailblazers. There are a few shenanigans. They were looking for any opportunity to play Donovan Clingan. It didn't happen straight away, but DeAndre Ayton probably could have played more if the Blazers had his future in mind, which they did not. ADP, quite fluctuating in terms of where ESPN stands, which is somewhat surprising. So huge value there, particularly as we know that he can still produce pretty well in a points league. Yahoo 66.9 and Fantrax 72.4. I'm very comfortable grabbing him around that zone as well.
Yeah, in most of the leagues that I've done, he's gone around that 60s, 70s mark. So I'm comfortable taking him there. I mean, durability is still a bit of a concern, but I think it's just going to be like a huge season for him. He's got that opportunity, so fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Well, that's it, Kayla. Thank you very much. There's some 5 draft targets for you. Great to have you back on the show. Like you said, we'll be doing a heap more of these throughout the season. How many more drafts do you have? We've got, 2 to 3 days, 2 days left until opening night. How many more drafts do you have?
Oh, I still have a couple. I'm doing one early tomorrow morning. I got one actually in the evening.
We're actually doing that together, I believe.
We are, Maddie G's league, so I'm looking forward to that. Not looking forward to waking up at 6, but still looking forward to it.
No. Oh, that's good for me. That's 6 p.m. for me. But that's awesome.
That's a good time.
All right. Where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me everywhere. Last word on sports. Hastag basketball. Bitches be balling between 2 hoops. But on Twitter or X, Kayla_Fonte.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kayla. Really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Great to see Kayla. Let us know what you think of the show. But until next time, thanks, guys. Catch ya.